a large stone that represented the western border of an estate owned by a dude who once owned all of West Virginia's eastern panhandle. I'm Wayne Worth and you're watching On the Road in West Virginia, our 55 counties, Fairfax Stone Historical Monument State Park. Now, most property boundaries today are clearly marked by fences or global information systems online, or GIS for short. However, when you inherit over 5 million acres of land that was granted 60 years earlier to your parents by the King of England in the year of 1719, well, surveying and overseeing that property could be a little bit challenging, to say the least. Lord Thomas Fairfax, who was born into British royalty, did manage to figure it out, or at least hired others to figure it out for him. One of those lucky folks was a young teenage George Washington, who was part of the 1748 surveying party that Lord Fairfax hired to mark the boundaries of his estate. Interestingly enough, he would hire a surveyor named Thomas Lewis 2 years earlier, who, by the way, would set the first Fairfax stone at the head spring of the Potomac River. This would be significant because it marked the western border of Lord Fairfax's estate and established a demarcation line for his property. From there, property disputes were easily resolved as Lord Fairfax was able to successfully defend the boundaries established by the surveys, and also residents on the land were required to pay an annual fee to live on it. When it was all said and done, Lord Fairfax would own all of the eastern panhandle of what is today West Virginia and the majority of the state's Potomac Highlands. However, that was short-lived, as Virginia during the Revolutionary War seized his land, and after his death in 1781, the Virginia Assembly made sure that no one from England inherited his land, as we were now the United States of America. As for the Fairfax stone, it would later become a subject of controversy, as a border dispute between Maryland and West Virginia, due to some shoddy surveying, would eventually go to the Supreme Court to be resolved. Once the dust settled, the stone would mark the border of 3 West Virginia counties and 2 states. As for the park, it would come into existence in 1957 through the Western Maryland Railroad's kind donation of 4 acres to the state of West Virginia. And from there, this very stone would be dedicated as a state historical monument and a treasure that many will learn from and admire for years to come. I'm Wayne Worth, and until next time, always remember, wherever there is beauty, there is always a venture. And wherever there is a venture, there is always a story. I'm Wayne Worth, and you're watching On the Road in West Virginia, our 55 counties, Fairfax Stone Historical Monument State Park.